And within this box, there are different types of language. Shane, I will happily send you some scripts on afterwards, but I'll just model a couple to you here. All right. Therapeutic language is the first one that I want to show you. If you want to do your own research into this one, you need to type into Google reflective affective language. All right, that's its real name. We call it therapeutic language just in terms of how I'm going to deliver it here. So, for example, a child tells me to F off. This is a therapeutic language response. Shane, I can see you're not happy. You don't want me to be here. That's fine. I'll move away. Not having the language, though. I'll come and see you in a minute. I would then proceed to go and support the rest of the kids in the class and talk to them and then come back to the young person in a minute, as I've just said. Let me just go back through that. Don't try writing that down as a response because reflective affective language isn't scripted. There is a scaffold that sits behind it, and that social discipline window that you can see on the screen will help you scaffold this. Are you ready? The first part of the scaffold is this. We have to support the child before we challenge them. And the way we do that is we connect with them before we correct them. Okay? Connect before you correct. How do you connect with a kid? This is the hardest bit of the whole thing. A connection is a translation of the child's behavior. What does F off mean? If you can articulate for that young person who's stressed, who can't use the words right now, what F off means, what does it mean? It means something along the lines of, for the kid, I'm really cross. Please don't talk to me. Move away. I need some space. If they were calm enough to use their words, this is what they'd be saying. So they are saying that. They're just not saying it with the words. They're saying it with their lower brain. All right? Which might look like F off. So my connection statement back to that kid is me reflecting that aloud. I can see you're not happy. You don't want me to be here. You need me to move away. You see what I'm doing there? When you do that and the kid hears it and you connect with the kid, we talk about the child understands that you understand them. And that's what I'm trying to get to here. If the child understands that I understand them, they feel listened to, heard, and understood. If a child feels listened to, heard, and understood, the blood flow starts to move to the top part of the brain, where they can use their words and talk to me. That's what I want them to do. Use this, not this. Okay? I want them to use this in an appropriate way. So my connection statement is a translation of the behavior. I can see you're not happy. You don't want me to be here. That's fine. I'll happily move away. And then I put my challenge statement in. I'm not having the language, though, because I still need high expectations and boundaries. Because if I don't have high expectations or boundaries in school, then I'm going to have a lawless school. All right, so I've got to put that challenge in place afterwards. What I don't then start doing is absolutely hammering them and demanding them, because I've done my bit now. I'm in the with box. I need to wait for the blood flow to come on and repair and reflect. I'll give you a different example in a different scenario. Shane, refuse to do your work for me. So I could ignore it. I could go, Shane, get on with your work now. I could go, oh, Shane, come on, do your work, please. Or I could go, Shane, I can see you're not ready to do your work. You've not been doing your work all morning. I'm wondering what the problem is. I'm noticing things are really difficult for you to now because you won't even pick your pen up and look at me. Imagine it's tough for you this morning to come into school. What I'm trying to do here is connect with the young person. I've used a little bit of a framework there to help me do that. We call that framework therapeutic whining. So you might have heard of that before, the wondering, imagining, noticing, and empathizing. I wonder what the problem is. I'm imagining things are tough for you. I'm noticing that. Okay. That's a therapeutic whining script there. Another skill to connecting with somebody is matching your affect. So if I've got a young person punching the wall, what I'm not going to do is go, I can see things are really tough for you right now as you're hitting the wall really hard. My words are fine, but my affect is off. I need to be up there with the young person, not over the top of them, not underneath them. Let's say I've got a young person who's underneath the table, really low arousal state, and I go, Thomas, you're underneath the table. You've been under there 5 times today. There's a safe space for us to go. It's just over here. My words are fine in terms of connection, but my affect is completely off. To connect with a child, you've got to balance the amount that you've got to match their level. All right. It's another tip for that. So in a nutshell, to work with a child using reflective affective language, we balance challenge and support. How do you do that? By connecting with the young person before you correct them. How do you connect? You translate the behavior. All right. And then you put your challenge in place.